This is Jesse Whitson. This is my final athletic report for the school board for the 2019-20 school year for Green Valley High School. I'd like to start off talking about our athletic highlights in the year in review. This year our numbers were up across the board. We were up by about 3 or 4%. Those numbers are based on starting numbers, not necessarily finishing numbers, but it was good to see the kids coming out at least to start the season, and our numbers up in those areas. Swim and dive had their first season, and this obviously added to our participation numbers this year. We had a good, successful season. We had multiple qualifiers and a state medalist at the state diving meet, with Eli Hendricks taking 4th place. Football had a very successful season. They were 9-3 and lost in the district championship to Harrisonville, unfortunately. Harrisonville went on to win the state championship this year. Cross country qualified both the boys and girls team for the state meet, and Ella Casey, a freshman, finished a team high 53rd in the state meet this year. You have to be top 20 to be all state, so she's getting there. The girls tennis team won the conference and finished second in the district, so the fall sports were very successful. The winter sports, girls basketball team won the district and made the state quarterfinals, where they lost to St. Joe Benton. The wrestling team had their greatest season in school history. They qualified 7 for the state tournament. They finished 4th as a team, bringing home the first state trophy in team history. They had 5 state medalists, including 3 state finalists. Our spring sports just got done wrapping up, with boys tennis winning the district championship. Track and field qualified a record number for the state meet and had multiple state placers. We had multiple all-conference and all-district athletes throughout all our sports, and we had multiple all-state athletes, highlighted by the 3 state finalists on the wrestling team. Coaching reports, evaluations, and hires. This was a pretty short list this year. There hasn't been a lot of turnover. Teresa Tuning was selected and hired as a science teacher and girls assistant basketball and volleyball coach. Her husband Brian was also hired as a high school assistant soccer and wrestling coach, and Brett Smith was hired as a assistant boys and girls soccer coach. All other contracts have been renewed this year. Evaluations were good. I feel very good about the strength of our athletic department. All coaches, assistants, and head coaches are on the same page as we move forward and look to improve on the success that we had this year. Our budget this year, I was very happy with our coaches and the job that they did with the budget, staying and working inside of it. Our equipment and supplies have been ordered for all sports teams for next year. We've managed to stay inside of the budget for that and for those purchases. Our athletic banquets were a success this year. We had a good number of athletes and parents attend. We were able to operate those and get awards, everything like that, inside of our operating budgets. Our coaches came in under budget this year, as I mentioned, and I would like to propose a motion that we move that money over to the next year for a general athletic fund in case any emergencies happen with travel, or if any equipment needs to be replaced during the seasons. Travel and trips are going to increase next year. That's been something that we've talked about, with the coaches trying to increase our competitiveness of our schedule. So those are going to increase, and so our teams are going to be looking to fundraise a little bit more than usual to subsidize the cost of those trips. Finally, looking ahead to next year, the majority of our sports schedules have been finalized. We're done with all the way up through the winter sports. We're working on the spring sports as we speak. CPR, AED, and first aid training has been scheduled, and our coaches are aware of those things. Fall sports practices are going to start on Monday, August 19th, which is a little different this year because of the rollback of the MSHA calendar, so that's a change. And we're currently working on travel and budget proposals for our teams for these seasons. And our booster club is looking to boost their revenue in order to help us out with travel and buy more needed equipment and things like that. So overall, it was a very successful year. We're doing what we need to do in order to become more successful as an athletic department and individually as teams, looking to boost those travel trips in order to become more competitive on the state level and throughout our season. Thank you for your time.